Jamba the Tabjut. Deze Chunde de Somanawa Sheche Chujananda Jiting is the Lanyam Bashuyan, Deze, Janju Samba Samba Chamba Papa Jera Samanju Shiroja Paru to Chamba Somaja Banyan Anabata Champamanga Talayara Sheja Tomanabata. Dene Sanje Jitu Sutandamba Sherep, Janju Samba Samba Chamba Papa Jera Samanju Ladege Maso Rijebo Rijebo Magala Shiroja Paru to Chamba Somaja. Chidalabaja, Dege Jemabata, Jaju Samba Samba Jamba Papa Jere, Samonju Jitsudan, the Bashere, the Debola, Dege Mazo Shere, Bor, Rijebo, Rijebo Magala, Shiroja Paruto, Chamba Sama Jaba Jabanda. Dita number Tawaja de Bomangamo, the Laya Rashi Tomba, and the Vajaso, Sotomba, Otomania, Susula, Tomania, Shamaya, Tomania, Jasoshamaya, no Descendo, Suada, Dushe, the number Shabana Tomba. Sheripo, the Tachu, Tanja Tomania, the Senior Member Majaba, Maga, Baba, Drama, Drama, the Drawam, Batawam, Bakawam, Bobo, Sheripo, the Drona Tomania, Suma, Soama, Dushim, and Nabashima, Mimena, and Namajimel, Sumeta, Metime, Rome, Rezamecher. Mije kame bane ije kame ije number sheba kanje bato yamendo mare bame mare basaba me bane gashi me gashi seba bato yamendo deshindo tungo wanda kunjo wanda goba dala me sheme toba momoto ba yamendo shere bo te da wana chenju samana toba me bechere shiro je paratu je badala de sila debo me je daba me je chinjo no ne shindo de ne nyangala de ba taraju do to sudo na ba Sanjeta Jeje Shiroja Parato Chibatela Denalana Mama Yanda Bazoba Jojo Dongomazoba Sanje so Tetawana Shiroja Parato Chimanga Rabachimanga Lana Mebanga Minyamata Nyambarjabanga Tunganda Jaro to Shiro Jebanga Mezobana Damba Chabacha de Shiroja Parato Chimanga Mebataeta Omanga de Kate Paranga de Parasanga de Bote Sova Shirebo Jaju Samba Samba Jamata Shiroja Parato Chamba Samala Labrajawa Tenetum Chungande Tingizi delation de Jeju Samba Samba Jamba Papa Jera Samonjola Leso, Shijawa Jena Leso Leso Regipote de Sheno de Chitri de Chindo Chido Parija Bacha de Shishabana Jesoyon on Chum de Dikika, Janasa Damba Shere Bota Jeju Samba Samba Jamba Papa. Onjota Tajeta de Bakura de Dalhata Mendal Hama in the Desache Benji de Iran de Chum de Jesumba Longumba to Tata Omagata Paranga the Parasanga the Bote so Tata Omagata Paranga. Data Omangata the Paranga the Parasanga the Bode, so what Data Omangata the Paranga the Parasanga the Bode, so what Data Omagata the Paranga the Parasanga the Bode, so what Data Omagata the Paranga the Parasanga. Data Omagata the Paranga the Parasanga the Bode, so why Namala Mala Chazalo, Sanjala Chazalo, Chola Chazalo, Jidala Chazalo, Yamashara Paro, the Jamala Chazalo, Tajitimese, Drovajitamala Home, Yamashara Paro, Jambata, Somayelasi. Se someone canto to Jabala than a tutorial of a medical children of attention to Taji, Jamashara Parajim, but some yellow second to Jabala than a tutorial of a medical chair and Dobrage member Judicial. Rabdo Chova George, Ganjet Jedro, Gaba member Jamamba Chabama, Tamama, member Tata, the Metro Shishida Matsobas and Manager Tamba de la Chazalo Jireton, Judicial, the Mendana Bajan. Tumba to Jefferson to Jefferson, the Jantan Dratele show. Menjijen Jaborando, the Susan Jagunya, Rasa Chokron, the Zabat Savalamana language. Tabjeto Jeshe Resodro, Shinja Mento de Japonjomba, Sejelombo da Bonjebeko, Shejeto de Language, Tremels to Jango, Amante Shangomba Jedawa, Tanjasaba Kunji Chuji, Yamen de Gore Janguja. Taso Senjata Jelo Zodoa, Jinjalabdo, Cholando Loa, Jinjalabdo, Lantroba Sava, Jinjalabdo, Troba Isha Java, Jinjalabdo, Najita Bandala Masola, Javachi, Jasinjala, Masola, Jas Nasepandala Masola, Japso, Tabata, Jinjalabdo, Tuchin, Jinjalabdo, the Majinjalabdo, Chaja Chamber, Chojango, Chandayala, Tabra, Jinjalabdo, Sanja Kunda Savala Mala, Kosungo, Jambecha, Zalon, the Melon, Ramashaba. Sedan dropa nyamba jengelo. Good morning. So we are going through text Jewel advice, Jewel treasure advice. I think text name is something like that. One of the holiness of Digung. The reincarnation of the one of the greatest scholar of the Digung Gaju, called the Digung Great Tamakiti. So this text, I think we did last Saturday, and today we will do some part, and maybe later when we get time, we will do continue. But so we're going through this one. If you have the text, then page 17. No, not 17. Sorry, page 16. So he has said, due to degeneration of the time, many of those friends who have added will rise as an enemy. Heartfelt and affectionate advice and so forth can be misunderstood as a discord or sarcasm. So because of the degeneration nowadays, even you try to help, sometimes it become people misunderstand. And I think one is because of the degeneration. Also, second is nowadays, because we are mixed culture now. Like 100 years ago, most of people are live their own community, so they are familiar their own culture. So it's not have to worry that much. You know what is a good manner, what is a bad manner. So what should do, what shouldn't do. But since now we are moving around so much, and our culture is a totally mixture. So it's really difficult to tell what kind of what kind of react, what kind of respond. It become offense for certain those beings. So that way, sometimes when even you try to say something nice, but for them it become an offense. But sometimes when you try to, try to advise, becoming judgmental. So it's a really difficult. I mean, not just only now. I think this is maybe one way. Now we're more have a connection each other, so that way is have a more mistake. But another way is also in the samsara is always like this. Samsaric beings are what called corrupted. The mind is corrupted by the afflicted emotion. So because of that afflicted emotion, we have really difficulty to trust each other. We have really difficulty to believe in someone's. So I think that causing us lots of conflict between each other. And also especially, I think, since we got some degree of education, and we are not totally awake from our delusion, and we have a knowledge, but still the delusion. So sometimes that knowledge some small degree of knowledge become deeper what call problems, because I think this is a if you go to countryside, people are uneducated. They are live really simple. Their mind is simple. They have a less concept. They are more honest. Whatever they say, it is mean that. But when you go to the city, more educated area, life is not that simple. You have to be really careful how you talk. And sometimes people say things, but not necessarily it is real. So there are lots of what called difficulty to understand. Why? Because the people are educated. Because of the education become a more conceptual, more thought. Education, sometimes education create a more thought actually. So we become a smarter, same time we become a more can say our afflictive emotion is increasing stronger, I think can say. So that reason is called the degeneration. Why is it degeneration? Because it's our negative emotion or as all those lifespan is shorter, negative emotion is stronger. So that way it's called the degeneration. As because of the strong emotion. Why is it our stronger emotion? Because of the some degree of knowledge make more afflictive emotion. I think so. More conceptual thought. Because of the more conceptual thought and more this conflict will come. So that reason, and also I think because of the sometimes our education make us more what called arrogant. Because of that arrogance, even someone try to advise you something, you don't want to listen because it hurt your emotion, So I think there are lots of reason in the degeneration time. It's really difficult to, help to other beings. So even you try to advise them, it cause to the become, make them to angry, make them to upset. So that way, misunderstood and discord or sarcasm. There are many who mistake our help for them, help for harm. And when we try to help, sometimes people think they're harming them, So this kind of things happen. So since these things happen, what we should do is therefore, whatever benefit you provide to giving of wealth and so forth, do it without the expectation, exception with the pure heart. So it means that whatever we do it without the hope of some kind of reaction, hope of return something like appreciation, thanking, or anything. So just do pure-heartedly. Pure-hearted means that just altruistic motivation that I just want to help them. It doesn't matter I get back my reward or not. So sometimes because when we do something and they responded with a negative way, then it become a really big problem. We get really upset. Also, my case is there's have to do with the culturally. One time, somebody said to me, Khenpo, your English is really good now. And I said, I mean, compared to the when I come here first time and those people know me, compared to that time, my English is actually much better. But basically, my English is not good. So what I said is sincere, honestly said, please don't say my English good because it's not helping me. Please, correct when I say wrong pronunciation, wrong sentence, and a wrong word. So later, that person told me he was really upset with me because when he tried to, price, you say nice things about my English, and I responded with that word. So he thought I didn't appreciate his compliment to me. So things like that, I really sincerely want to be improve myself to get it better with the language. So that way I ask sincerely. So he feel like I'm not accepting his compliment or his, So I think things like that happen, misunderstand can happen also culturally or whatever. I mean, so 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 what I'm saying is he says this word expecting I will show him appreciation. Then I didn't show him appreciation, maybe my stupidity, and he was really upset. Yeah. So when you do something, when you say something without the expectation of a return anything, then that person responded or not responded, that person responded good way or bad way, it's not going to hurt our emotion. It are not going to hurt our, uh, impact now our continuing of what we do. So I think that reason best way to protect ourselves from that is do not do not expect any kind of a reward from that action. When we're not rewarding from that action, whatever we do, is one way is we are doing with a pure heart. If we hoping to reward or some kind of gain something return from that, then it's not pure-hearted is involved. Why? Because it's a selfishness is there, self-interest is there. So always looking something for ourselves, then there's no pure-hearted self-cherishing is there. So that reason we have to do with the pure-hearted. How to do with the pure-hearted is always be with the altruistic motivation and without any kind of hope and hope of return. So then it's becoming a pure action whatever we do. Even you don't put the hope or expectation of the return, the fruit of this will ripen without a doubt. So no matter how we no matter how put we expectation, how big we put, the fruit of the result is not get bigger. If we not put the expectation, the fruit or result is not become smaller. The fruit and result of that action will always be there. It not go anywhere. Even you don't expect it. You not have a hope of return anything. It will come. No one can stop this one. So that is the nature of the law of causality. Nature of the law of causality is when you do something bad, even you don't wish, the result will come to you. When you do something good, even you don't have hope or wish, the result will come to you. No one can stop that one. So that way, this ripening without a doubt, the result of the good karma, good deed, is a will rape to ourselves without a doubt. So it's important to know when to offer a heartfelt word. So now, this one, I'm sure some of you remember in the Lame of the path. In the Lame of the Path, Atisha said, Bodhisattva need the clairvoyant. Without the clairvoyant, the Bodhisattva cannot benefit sentient beings. Because sometimes we try to do with a good intention, but still from that good intention can become bad result for other, because we don't know how to help them, because we don't know their mind stream. So need the clairvoyant. So since we don't have the clairvoyant, and whatever we say is not necessarily going to be helpful for other, so no matter how good intention they try to advise, not necessarily always be helpful for other. So because of that reason, we have to be careful, and we have to make sure right time, right way, and right skill, with a good skill to offer the heartfelt, not the and always be not necessarily always helpful to heartfelt advice, heartfelt word when you're giving. So that since we are not clairvoyant, since we're not not knowing the other's mind, so we have to be careful when you're helping other, not necessarily always become a help, whatever we put action there. So whatever we physically or verbally, whatever we put in action there, we have to be careful. So that is why saying is important to know when to offer heartfelt advice. Okay. When to offer and also how to offer. I mean, like there's one story. One cook of the Adisha came to Dongdaba. Dongdaba was a hard disciple of Adisha in Tibet. Also, he was the translator for Adisha. So one day the cook said, "Oh, I came for the Dharma from far from the East Tibet. But here, my job is a cook. So every day I'm so busy to cook. So I have not much time to do meditation." So even Rondaba said from the beginning to said, "Oh, that's your job. You should do that one." Then I think he will be really upset. But Rondaba said, "Oh, yeah, true, me too. I have come for the Dharma, but I'm really busy every day, with the translating, with the bringing to the guest, to the teacher, and this and that. There are no time to meditate." But then he same way to he complained to the monk. Then later he said, "But this is the best practice of the serving to the guru." So so that is when is using actually word to offer is we have to know the right time, right way, with the skill. Otherwise, it's really difficult to say, that heartfelt advice always be benefit. Like also Lord Buddha, when he met Ajatashatru, after Ajatashatru, he killed his father, and Ajatashatru was really upset and so depressed because he realized that he did a really heinous crime. So then Buddha didn't say beginning to, "Oh, you did really bad karma." He said, "Oh, king, this is okay, long as you, keep the clean, whatever you have done is not big deal." But later, then it was a different meaning. So then later, slowly, Buddha gave him teaching, and he became great practitioner. So I think from the beginning to, if you said like Buddha said to him, oh, you are a really bad son, you did really bad karma, then he's depressed, is getting stronger or deeper, and it's not going to help anything. So what kind of advice and how to give the advice? So you need a great skill, a great method to do that one. So that way we have to know when to give advice. If you cannot give advice, then just keep quiet. Sometimes it's just listen is better than giving advice. Um, uh, uh, that is what someone told me. Actually, sometimes it's just really good to listen to people. Don't say anything, just by listening can heal their problem. So sometimes just not without giving any advice, just listen to people. I think it really help. So what it's important to know, okay, abandoning what which harm yourself and it doesn't benefit other. If you expect too much from your good deed, you will often be let down. Keep this is your heart in your heart. So anything, even if it's good, even if it's a good deed, even if it's a positive action, anything is harm you directly and not help other, any kind of action, is it just shouldn't do that one. Like a practice of the generosity. If you give to the rich one something, the really nice things from your house, really rich one, someone driving a really expensive car, wearing a really expensive clothes, and so that kind of rich people when come, if you give really expensive gift, I'm sure for that rich people that not value, have nothing value. I don't think so that rich people will use that actually. Okay, but it will cost for your family fortune. So that way it harm your own self and your family, and not benefit for that person who receive your expensive one. Then it's better to just buy something nice to offer to your family. So things like that, you have to know when and who, what you give. So anything what we do, this is not talking about the only negative things, even the positive one, positive action, uh, dharma actions. It something hurt yourself and not benefit for that person, then it shouldn't perform. Uh, and also lots of time when we do with the expectation, and many times they will let us down. When it let us down, and not because of the let down is cause us a suffering, because of our expectation cause us a suffering. Like I think this is often happen when you expecting someone to do something nice to you. When that person didn't do to you, it really hurt you. Because not because that person hurt you, because your expectation hurt you. So shouldn't expect too much anything in our life. Whatever we get, just appreciate with that. So that is advice. Now, sir, some may have good manner, but it like a poisonous snake. And the behavior of other may be unpleasant, but they may have a pure heart. So some, they nice wearing a nice clothes. Yeah, like a lay people, they wear a suit, tight, really gentleman style. And also monks wear really pure robes, really nice looking, but not necessarily have a pure hearted. So you have to be careful. and some looks rough, not disciplined, not good, but it be insidely could be good. Uh, I had one teacher when I was in the Samya monastery. He was our what called debate teacher. So he was originally from Sera monastery in Sera. So he told us one story. And there's a story in the monastery. I think not really a story. It happened maybe not long ago. So in the monastery, there was one geshe. Geshe means the normally called scholar, really, and they have a really good educated. So they're very nice robe, looks disciplined, looks really professional monk, great looking. So, but when that geshe is died, he died really badly, like painful, crying, really bad, bad way to he died. Then in a monastery, in the like those monastery, they have a called the dabdo. Dabdo mean monk. Those are mainly they working, monastery work. So they wear robe rough, even some they keep hair, this part of hair kind of long here, looks really rough, and they have a cloth, even they put the butter and the cloth is make sound like shirk, 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 make like that. So they have their own way to look really tough. Basically, they make themselves look really tough. So most of those are uneducated monk, just only working for the monastery. Monk couldn't go through the education system, and they joined those monks. But one monk, when this kind of one monk died with a meditation. They look rough. Whole life they, only doing work or kind of not related to the static meditation of the Dharma. But he died with a meditation. So that is a show us some outside they looks really nice. They educated also, they can talk really nice, and but insidely, because of that, their mind is really corrupted with a negative emotion. So it's just really poisonous. So it's like snake. Snake actually look outside skin. It looks beautiful. They have a beautiful color. Only we have a fear because we know the snake have a poison. That way we get fears. Otherwise, snake looks beautiful actually, but this is the snake is the full of poison. Even how beautiful looking snake is, full of poison. So and there's one called the bloodsucker bug. It looks scary when it get to on your skin. It suck all your blood and it make hole, and it's turned really big. Looks really ugly. But I heard lots of doctors use that one as a they when they suck the blood, it suck all the bad blood from our body. It actually treatment. So like that. Some are looks ugly, looks scary, but it really helpful. So we can go to the like a Shantideva's life story. When he was in the monastery, people call him Busuku. Busuku mean the like a Buddha. Buddha is a Bojen. Bojen mean the eating. Sukta as a go to sleep. Sleep. And now I forgot this gu is there's a gu with the related. So those three go to bathroom. So they call him Busuku because they think he only know three things in his life. Eating, sleeping, go to bathroom. Other than that, he is not educated. He's a really bad monk. But because he is belong to the royal family, they couldn't kick him out from the monastery long time. So then one day they said, okay, we have one good method to kick him out from the monastery. Is it make him to give teach, make every monk, give teachings. When come to his turn, he will run away. That way we don't have to kick him out and we don't make enemy to the king, the royal family. So they make that rule, and then everyone giving some teachings. Then they come to his turn, and he said, yes, I will give tomorrow teachings. They really a little bit, kind of like a shock. And tomorrow he came on the throne, and he sat on the throne. The people really shocked. They thought, wow, this idiot one have no shame. And he asked, should I give some teaching that's already taught, or should I give teaching that is not yet taught? They said, okay, give something not yet taught to anyone. So he gave the Vaya Bodhisattva contract. That one, first time he taught to the public. This teaching. So things like him, looks really, people call him a Busuku, and people think he's uneducated and not practicing anything, just only sleeping and eating. But then later find out he was a great scholar and great Mahasiddha, the accomplishing practitioner, not just only a scholar. So So when he was giving Junjuk teachings, and when come to the ninth chapter, and he flew higher in the space. So that way, if you see his picture now, the Tanga, it looks like he's kind of above the cushion. He wasn't on the cushion. Why? Because when he was giving teaching, he flew higher. And at a certain point, his body is disappeared, but continually give teaching until the Vaya Bodhisattva contract is finished. So no one recognized he was a great practitioner. Similarly, Tiluba, Naroba, Tiluba, Marba, they are great, master, but most of people don't recognize them as a great teacher. Even the Marba, when Milarepa was surgeon to the Marba hometown people said, there's no great, teacher called Marba. And Milarepa have to say, is there anyone call his name is a Marba? Said, oh yeah, there's one guy. His name is a Marba. So outsidely, Marba wasn't like a genuine what people expect as a teacher should be, but insidely he was the greatest one. So things like that way, we cannot just judge by outlook. We cannot just judge by an appearance. Appearance can deceive us easily, because we have an eye we just only can see the skin. Nothing can see inside. So that way, have to be careful. Don't judge immediately good or bad by just appearance. Some good one can be appearance really poor looking, or kind of like unpleasant looking, undisciplined looking. Okay, and some looks outside the appearance as a really wonderful, disciplined, great practitioner, but inside, corrupted with the mind, with the afflicted emotion. So it's like a snake. So the reason said, but have a pure heart. So, and my perform many dharma activity as a so forth. Therefore, don't rely on the first impression. Look closely at their characters. We have to look their character, not the appearance. So Buddha said, Kansala maintain chilatons. It means that not rely on the person, not look on the person, look on the rely on the dharma. How do we rely on the dharma? Is we have to know that person closely. Especially when come to the Vajrayana master, don't just jump because you think that is a someone is a called guru. You have to one way you have to look that close of that person's character. Two is also that person and you you need some kind of a special connection with that. With those two together, then you can rely on that. Otherwise, uh, um, just don't follow by just appearing alone. So, okay. If you overreact with the like or dislike to small amount of benefit or harm, in the long run, you won't know who will help or harm you. It's good to respond without much anger or delight. Have a pure heart. Be even like the string of a guitar. So sometimes people, show you the good manner, try to benefit for you. Sometimes people, it seems like it's harming to you. Like especially, we are samsaric beings, deluded, ignorance, confusions. So that way, really difficult to distinguishing what is harm and what is help. Sometimes we mistakenly think harm as a help, and it's just pleased with that harm. Sometimes we mistakenly, get upset with help. Um, so this is like when we're a young monk, when we're in a small in the monastery, we always think the senior monk who just play with us and don't scold to us, don't make us hard to study, and give us a break, give us a rest time or play time, and we think that that master is cool and it's really good. But then some master really strict. Oh, yeah, really strict. When we meet that kind of master, then we kind of a little bit upset inside, a little bit resentment with that. Kind of whenever we see that master, kind of a little bit unpleasant feeling come out. But actually, we don't know, kids. We don't know who is really harming and who is really helping. So actually who are more strict to us is helping us, because education or anything in life, if we want to be something in life, must disciplined, must strict, otherwise it's really difficult to achieve anything. So if you want to achieve something, you have to be sacrifice something. So when young monks, maybe you have to sacrifice your play day, you have to sacrifice the being kids. So then later you have a more play day or I don't know. I mean, more relax that because of your education, your knowledge, your you know. So uh,
So that way, I think just don't immediately react when somebody said nice things. It's not necessarily it is helpful, and when somebody said bad things, I mean harsh word, it's not necessarily for the harm. So I have to be what kind of a benefit can gain long termly. We have to look on that. So that reason, don't react immediately for the small manner things, good one or bad one, you know. So what we need, our mind is need like a getter. Getter is a string, is if too tight, it not bring the sound. If you too loose, it not bring the sound. So our mind string is have to be really balanced, not too extreme about like or dislike. So when things happen, what is also here is in our life. When somebody said bad things, don't react on that immediately strong way of the upsetness. When somebody said good things, don't react, happiness on that. Because Shantideva said, if someone is saying to you bad things about you, don't be get upset because someone else is saying good things about you. When someone is saying you good things, don't be too over, what call this, overjoy, because there's
Overconfident? Overconfident?
not confident, like you become so happy.
Excited.
Yeah, don't be too excited, because definitely there's someone who would say bad things about you too. So just keep as a mind as a balance. So when you keep as a mind as a balance, it's not go to both sides of the strong emotion, then you have a more relax and happiness. If you go to the either side, your heartbeat is become as really strong, and also it cause your life is shorter. More your heartbeat is life is spent is you know exhausting from there. So that reason need our mind is like a getter, not don't go to too extreme, just stay in the middle. uh, uh, that is the only way to can bring to the true happiness later and the long term later. So like the string of the getters. If someone speak harsh word, try to see if they are true. May, many are deceived like the rabbit who had shell. If someone depending on you, okay, so this one is a maybe one way. If someone saying harsh directly to you, uh, uh, say something harsh word. So you have to look the meaning why he or she said that one, what reason he or she saying. Uh, so because sometimes we don't look the behind that word, and we just directly react on that word, whatever word that we hear. So especially when somebody said harsh word, we have a difficulty to adjusting with that, and immediately react on that. From that immediately react, sometimes we react something that is a no meaningful. So there's a called a rabbit who heard gel. It means that one rabbit was just sitting near the river, and the river, when the river water cut the side of the mud, and the mud collapse on the water. So Robert heard that sound of a gel, the mud fall on the water, and he was so scared he ran. So then when he was running, and the other animal said, "What happened?" And he said, "There's a really scary beings called name as a shell." So it is chasing me, so I'm running. So all other on the way, anyone who made him, everyone run after with him. There's no reason to run. There's no something scary, dangerous, but because of the sound and without the checking what the sound or where come from, because of the sound, it makes scare, it immediately run. So similarly, when we heard a word, don't just react immediately. Make sure is theirs have a some meaning is coming or not. Sometimes not necessarily it's telling to her, so telling to us, if something is not true, when it's not true, if someone said to you something which is not true, and it's the same as not saying to you, so that way, don't just react immediately when we heard some kind of word. If someone depends on you from their heart, it's important to treat them as you would yourself. If you betray them, you will experience the result of it. So it result of it. So be careful. So same way, when someone is depending on you from their heart, mean that someone trusts you, someone believe in you, someone rely on you. When there is someone, don't betray them, don't use them. So I think these days is lots of time is that kind of a situation happen. You become a friend to this person long as you need. Then one day when you don't need, you become a stranger each other. With a spiritual friend or generally a friend, lots of time it happens. So that is a really bad negative karma to betray something like that. When someone is thought you are close to them and you using them, and later when you betray them, and because you don't have no longer need use that, no longer have use for that person, and betray them. So that is a really bad bad negative karma. From that bad negative karma too will come bad result too. Okay, then said knowing the virtues, various aspects of the ritual, dance, melody, and so forth, as a source of upliftment. It's important to make effort in this. So that means in the monastery, we have to learn the generally language and ritual, also dance, like they call the lama dance, and when you do the prayer, there are lots of different melody, as I say, really slowly chanting some kind of a melody. And those are really educational system. You have to follow, you have to go to school, you have to learn from the those all. And actually, in the monastery life, there's three, I think you can say three major educational or three major things. One is about the ritual. like how to make the torma, how to make the how to do the make the mandala, how to do the those rituals, how to perform the rituals, how to do the lama dance, and how to do those all implements, like a drum and so and forth. You have to pretty much take one lifetime to complete, become master, expert on that. Then second one is have to go to the philosophical school. It's just pretty much take whole lifetime to become expert to learn. Then third one is can say the retreater, So it's just it's difficult to say you become expert by doing few years, by doing a little bit, by learning some part. So those are really necessary for, if you want to follow to the one, focus on one things, but some, you may in the focusing on the mainly your maybe scholar or maybe retreater. Even your retreater or scholar, you have to focus other two. You have to learn other, like your scholar who doesn't know how to make the torma, who doesn't know how to do the ritual, and there are lots of shortage comes. And some are retreater who doesn't know how to explain the meaning of the dharma, or who doesn't know how to do the perform the ritual, and there's a big shortage comes. So the reason, even sometimes people think, oh, those are just a waste in life, I'm just focusing on the true essence, like a Mahamudra or highest yoga or some things, and essence there one. It means this is basically saying is I just need the essence, but I don't need the support, because they all are support. The method are support to the ultimate nature of the Mahamudra. So all those is called the those are part of the method of skill to bring to the one way is upliftment of the Dharma, mean to make Dharma looks beautiful. Has also kind of ornament for the tradition, and the two, and it's also become a support for so that way scholar need to experience of the learn how to meditate, how to do retreat. So without doing that one cannot be complete the scholar. And even your scholar, if you don't know anything about the ritual, there's a good amount of shortage will come in later in your life. So as those are, maybe you may think, especially like like Megitorma and things like that, maybe you may think, oh, those are just wasting time. It's not really wasting time. It make like a more complete of a practice. So the reason those also should learn is they are important. So effort in this. But if you are bound by jealousy or pride, and the result of your practice will be birth low realm. But so you have to learn those all, okay, all those knowledge, like whatever knowledge in the Dharma. But if your mind is corrupted by the jealousy or pride, you get we get more education, our jealousy will increase. When we're more and more educated, our pride will increase. So from your education, from your knowledge, from your lifelong experience, whatever, if your pride or jealousy is increasing same amount or same way, then it will bring the great heavy result of from those as a reborn to the lower realms. So birth of the lower realm. Therefore, establish the true meaning of this and future live by having noble thought and by generating the loving kindness. So how you can have a great knowledge, wisdom, and that knowledge, wisdom is not turned to the evil as a need noble thought, mean the altruistic motivation and a loving kindness mind. Uh, Even His Holiness Dalai Lama, one time there's a teaching, he said, that's true. He said, if you lack of compassion, sometime wisdom can become evil. So same time we increasing our knowledge, okay, improving our knowledge, same time should be increase our loving kindness and compassion too. Then what happened is a knowledge will protect us from the ignorance, eliminate our ignorance by learning, by knowledge. But that knowledge can be increasing our aversions and attachment. So how to reduce that emotion is by the knowledge with the support of the loving kindness and compassion. More we have a loving kindness and compassion and altruistic motivation, we get less and less attachment and hatred. So how we protect? So I think this is basically this is a tool in the Vajrayana. Most important is a practice with the emptiness and compassion. I'm sure you heard this many times. What does emptiness mean? The emptiness means just not thinking of just empty. Emptiness means the knowledge of the knowing the phenomena. More you know about the phenomena, you become deeper in the emptiness. More you know interdependent origination of a phenomena, your emptiness is becoming deeper. More you know about impermanent about the phenomena, your emptiness is becoming deeper. So those knowledge, understand is the only way to that is the only way to can bring to the emptiness. Otherwise, you not go to emptiness without the knowledge. Where you go is you go to nihilism, which is the worse than externalism. So when we in the Vajrayana, you may see the lots of time it said empty and compassion. Emptiness is not just talking about the nothingness. And emptiness means the knowing the all deeper, depth of the phenomena is called emptiness. We only know the surface of the phenomena. Like we only know the skin of our body. That way we have a grasping on this. But when we know the deeper inside the phenomenon of the physical, our aggregate, then we will become a more closer to the emptiness. So emptiness means knowledge, but that knowledge of the emptiness, if not supported by the compassion, is become extreme. Why? Because it can be eliminated the ignorance by that wisdom, but increasing to the other emotion like attachment and aversion. So how to eliminate those two? Those emotion is by altruistic thought and loving kindness, compassion. So that reason said, as a love lives by having noble thought and by generate the loving kindness. You may think that a small action of the virtue or non-virtue may not help or harm, but small harm will cause by big result. So be careful even as little things. Sometimes we do small things, good or bad. But then we think, oh, this is not going to be a big deal. So, and that we never know that that small one can bring to the big result. One day, Buddha was giving teachings. One Naga came. He, transformed his body, really good-looking human form. So, and Buddha wanted to give teaching. So Buddha said, please show your own true body. And Naga said, no, I cannot show you my true body. It really looks scary and so painful. So Buddha said, insist to show up. So then he showed. His body is like a Naga body, but head has a huge tree growing. When the tree wind blow, then the tree move and it caused him so much pain in his brain because all the root of the tree is inside the brain. So that caused him so much pain. So then Buddha asked him, why happened this one? He said, when he was Buddha Kashypa's time, he was a monk, and he was running or hurry, and when he walking, his rope caught on the tree. So he was so upset, he hit to the tree. That karma. So sometimes we may think, oh, those are just small karma, not going to give a big result. By that action, and a big tree grow in his head and make him really suffering. So, so small action can bring the great result, big result. Yeah. Also, I mean, that also another story was when Buddha was in the I think near Sharavasti somewhere, and one monkey came, tried to take Buddha's begging bowl, and Ananda tried to take away from the monkey, and Buddha said, just give him, let him take. So monkey took that begging bowl, and he collect the honey and offer to the Buddha, and then Buddha used that as a honey as that day's meal, and Buddha dedicated, and monkey was so happy, and he was joyfully jumping. He fall down and he died. When he died, he born to the nearby neighbor, one family's house, and whenever since he was born, they have all the part is coming with the honey, full of honey. So like that, one single bowl of honey he offered to the Buddha. When next life he have so much honey. So I think things like that, small one. There's another story is one man. I think Buddha Kashypa's time, in the past time, man, he's carrying some grain and try to get, find a wife. So, but then he saw on the road Buddha Kashyapa, and he offered like a mandala, and he throw the grain to the Buddha Kashyapa, and four as a fall in the Buddha Kashyapa's four piece of grain fall in the Buddha Kashyapa's begging bowl, and I think two fall on the Buddha Kashyapa's I don't remember exactly, but on the Buddha Kashyapa. So then later he was born the universal monarch king called the Gebo Ngalanu, and he overpowered the four continent and the demigod, even the hub of the god realm. So just offering by one handful of a grain, he became a universal monarch king. So that way, it's a small action, small, doesn't matter. It's a small, virtue and non-virtue do not take light. Oh, this is just small one, because but that small action can be bring the great result. So be careful even as the little things, especially the bad karma, bad deeds, even the small things, be careful. Because from these times, a small negative action in the future can be get to the great result from that negative, like a uh, the monk, it's a naga, you know. Um, saying or doing whatever comes to the mind is the storehouse of all the non-virtues. Investigate it before you act until you gain fruit of what you started. It's important to continue. So this one is a basically we shouldn't say or shouldn't do anything, just whatever come to the mind, especially our monkey mind. The monkey mind come all those easily. We have to when we think something, when we hear something, when we thought something, put the investigation, is good or not, continually uh, do this or not, we have to investigate. So because if we're not investigated, just say whatever comes, whatever things, and it bring to the great conflict. This is like a storehouse also of all the problem come out. In the Tibetan, we said, in the summer, take care the metal, because summer metal get water and rusted. So have to be take care the summer metal. Winter, take care the uh, uh, clay pot, because clay pot can be froze and can break. But all the time, take care your tongue. It means that you may say lots of things. It's going to cause to problem, create a problem. So that way, investigate before you act until you gain the fruit of whatever you started. Is important to continue. So basically, holy being, you said, holy being never start any things. That means the smart one don't start easily, but once it start, never give up until it fruit comes. So these days we are people like fashionable, even with the dharma. They try to do commitment, lots of commitment. Every time when we receive empowerment, we make a commitment. I mean, that, So we receive so much empowerment, and we make so much commitment, and we never do all those commitment. It's become a really bad habit. And also, actually, sometimes it's become a negative by doing that such way. So it's better make less commitment and try to complete that commitment, whatever we done. So that reason that until you gain the fruit of what you started, it's important to continue. It means that never give up. If you are too direct, you will make enemies. Deceitfully behavior, raping a heavy karma. So this one also Tibetan was mistaken. So I fixed this one. I'm sure if you have old translation, it may be a little bit different. So because whatever you're saying to other, don't want to say too direct, because people don't like, actually, nobody likes the truth. Everybody likes the artificial. Because the people want to be here, they are the perfect one. So if you say directly to someone, say this and that, and they're really upset. Even if it's true, people get upset. And I heard some people say it's true, but why they say that one? Such a hurtful, hurtful way to say. So I think this is true. Maybe it's not easy to listen, even as it's truth. So because of that reason, and people get upset with you. That way it's called, if you are too direct, you will make enemies. Deceitful behavior reaping a heavy karma. Mean that if you lie to them, even you lying good reason, still there's a bad karma too. So there's in the Vinaya, sometimes you get a really bad situation. For example, they said in the Vinaya, for example, hunter is chasing to the animals, like a deer or something. Then a hunter come and there's a retreater monk sitting there in the forest, and the deer pass to the monk. Then after that, hunter is coming. So now hunter asks to the monk, "Have you seen the deer?" If monk said, "No, I didn't see." He was lying, so he become liar. Okay, negative karma. But if he said, "Oh yeah, I saw the deer," and then the hunter will ask where it goes. Then if you not tell the truth, it can cause to the monk also negative karma, because lying. So you're not allowed to lie, but you cannot tell the truth. So that way, why? Because not allowed to. If you lying, doesn't matter where you're lying. Even that one, it's become a liar. So it's really like a difficult to decision. So that reason, you have to be really careful. If you tell truth, you harm that deer. If you're lying, you harm your own karma. So that way, you don't want to harm deer, and you don't want to create the negative karma. So Buddha said, in that kind of situation, then best way to give answer is ultimately I see nothing. That's true. In the ultimate label, there's nothing to see. But you cannot say, "Oh, I didn't see," because you're lying. So that way, if you are deceitful, mean that tell lying, and reaping a heavy karma because you lie. So it's a negative result will comes. Getting along with everyone is a gullible. Gullible. What does gullible mean?
My English is also not that good, but it kind of means that you feed on something good, you're enjoying, you're being kind of is it deceitful?
This is like if you think you have to make friend to everyone as a gullible mean the chulchu means someone is a really kind of like a childish attitude, but it's not really childish. It means that some kind of you are wishing to something as a little bit so I don't know, it's in Tibetan called the chuchung.
Means you trust everyone, you believe in anything.
Silly, I think maybe. Yeah. Silly. And because it's impossible. Why it's called the gullible or silly? Because it's impossible to make everyone like you. You know, I don't think so anyone can make that. Even Buddha couldn't make everyone like him. So you cannot expect that everyone like you. So not getting along with anyone is worse. Or if you think, oh, I don't need anyone, you know, I don't care anyone. So even all the, you know, everyone become my enemy, is I don't care. That kind of attitude also not good. Therefore, it's important to be skillful in the virtuous method and to be free from the deceit, corny, and non-virtuous mind. Deceit and corny. So this is something that's who you are not, you pretend like that one. What you don't have, you pretend you have that one. So that's what is deceit and corny mean. So deceit and corny, or the deceitful, we become a deceitful because of the negative emotion. So whatever we put the action, we need a good skill. Bodhicitta is the source of all the bodhisattvas. And all the Dharma is only for the benefit of others, especially on the path of the attaining of the Buddhahood is one life. It's essential of the practice of the teaching of the arising of the completion of the secret mantra. So here two things. First, it said Bodhicitta is the source of bodhisattvas. Means that if you want to become a bodhisattva, you have to generate a bodhicitta. Only person who generate that is bodhicitta. You know, just having loving kindness is not good enough. Just having compassion is not good enough. You have to generate the, you know, bodhicitta, aspiration bodhicitta and action bodhicitta. Because sometimes people, you know, kind one. Somebody is really kind, said, this is truly bodhisattva. But the kindness and the bodhicitta is different. Because having kind heart cannot make you bodhisattva. Only person who generate the bodhicitta, that make the bodhisattva. So what is different, the kindness and the bodhicitta? Kindness means that you just want to help somebody who need the help. Kindness means that you just want to be, have a kind of like sympathy to someone's in life. But bodhicitta means that you want to liberate them to take to the state of the Buddhahood. You want to free them from the permanently from the suffering. Kindness means that temporary benefit. Bodhicitta is the ultimate benefit. So that reason bodhicitta, only bodhicitta as a make as a bodhisattva, not a compassion or kindness. So if you want to become a bodhisattva, you must generate bodhicitta. So, and how to generate bodhicitta is the so all the dharma is only for the benefit of others. So bodhicitta means that come from the altruistic motivation. You know, not just from the only ceremony. Because sometimes people, once you receive the ceremony of the bodhisattva vow and said, oh, I have a bodhicitta. You know, I have a bodhisattva vow. The ceremony alone cannot make us that way. I think we have to, you have to go through the mind, bodhicitta have to come from the altruistic motivation. Uh-oh. Especially the one life, it's essential to practice the teaching of the erasing and the completion of the secret mantra. So erasing and completion is in the Vajrayana, we call the generation stage and completion stage. Why Vajrayana is a more quicker path than Sutra? In the Vajrayana is called the resulted vehicles, palayana. Pala mean the fruit. Pal mean the fruit. Yana mean the path. So what is the fruit? Fruit is Buddhahood. So that Buddhahood, state of the Buddhahood is using on the path. How we using on the Buddhahood is on the path. Is a practice of the generation stage. Generation stage means yourself as a transform into the deity. Your place is transformed into the mandala. So those two are mainly antidote of the being attached to your place and being attached to your body, using the practice of the transforming your place as a mandala and transforming your body as a enlightened body. But then sometimes we being attached to that deity, then completion stage as a dissolution. So those two are by those two. And those two is also called the path, that which is a union of the wisdom and the method. So that is it's called the Vajrayana. Vajrayana is basically it's a union of the wisdom and method. It's called the Vajra body, Vajra speech, Vajra mind. So what is the Vajra body mean? The appearance and emptiness are inseparable. Vajra speech means the sound and emptiness are inseparable. That's called the union or yoga. And the mind means the thought and emptiness are inseparable. So within the now, whatever appearance as a see as an emptiness. So from there to that kind of a mental mentality and bring to the quick to the Buddhahood, because we already try to live on the state of the Buddhahood by meditating on that generation stage and completion stage. So that make the quicker the path. So that way, if you want to be complete Buddhahood within the lifetime, and you must practice as a Vajrayana. In the Vajrayana, teach that method, not in the sutra, not in the other vehicle. They don't teach that kind of method, that skill. Basically, all Buddhism are same. This is one small example is called a Pure-Land. Okay, Pure-Land practitioner. Larsa Mahayana are a Pure-Land practitioner. So what they do is they imagining the Pure-Land of the Amitabha front of you and pray to reborn there. So, but from your mentality, they are distinguished about Amitabha Pure-Land is there somewhere. I'm here. I'm hoping to born there. So it's still their distance. Mentally there's a distance. In the Vajrayana, it's practice is same. You want to reborn in the Amitabha Pure-Land, but You just not hoping to Amitabha Pure Land somewhere. When you die, reborn there. You living on the Amitabha Pure Land now by visualizing your place as Amitabha Pure Land, mandala, Pure Land, and yourself as Amitabha. You live on the state of that Buddhahood from now. That is called the fruit vehicle or resulted vehicle. Because of that reason, is the paths becoming quicker path. That is called a skillful. In the Vajrayana, only skill and method is a little bit different. Actually, practice itself is the same. You know, different between the Hinayana and a Mahayana is a Bodhicitta. And the difference between the Vajrayana and Sutra is a empowerment. Empowerment means that you transform yourself as a deity through the ceremony. Other than that, the main body of the practice itself is the same. They are not different between the Vajrayana and the Mahayana. Generally, all Buddhism, we have to follow on those three stages called the training of the morality, training of the samadhi, training of the wisdom. In the Vajrayana, not have less of them. In the Hinayana, not have more of them. Or the other way can say. Those three training are same everywhere. Sometimes explain a little bit different way. Okay, language ways, vocabulary ways, word ways, a little bit different. But the meaning of the practice is the same. And Vajrayana and Mahayana, they put more skill, method, make them a little bit different. So what is the skill and method? Is it like in generating bodhicitta of the altruistic motivation and transforming yourself within right now yourself transforming to the actually deity, Pure Land. So other than that, there's not much really different. So that is a So in this degenerate time, many rely on the goals. This worship of the worship of Terang, and the deity is like the death as the edge of the knife. It's his creator revelations and said, take one life for no purpose. Therefore, as a unfailing 3 jewels, go for refuge from bottom of your heart. I mean, truth these days, I think people know more their Dharma protector than actually about the Buddha. Like, if you think this way, in the Digunga, I think if you connected to the Digunga, you definitely know who is the Achi. No question about that. But if somebody asks you the Lord Jidisumgun, who's the Lord Jidisumgun, what he is teaching, I think a lot of us, we don't know who is the Jidisumgun. Same way, lots of time we know the certain deity or some spirit practice, but we don't know the Lord Buddhas. We took refuge, but it's still not recognize who is the Buddha. So basically, we are worshiping to the ghosts. If we do only Dharma protector things, because Dharma protector as a manifest as a ghost, okay, it's called the spirit. I'm not saying they are ghosts. They are not samsaric beings like Achi, Mahakala. They are not samsaric beings, but they have so many surrounding the samsaric beings, retinue. If you become so close with that Dharma protector, you have a really good chance to be reborn in their retinue. So in this degeneration, we make so much, offering to those kind of, and also Terang is some kind of spirit. Why we do those things? I think that temporarily they're kind of helpful. Temporarily they give you great help. So I told you this many times in the Dehradun, in the India, how many people goes to the Aji temple, but none of those, everyone who go to the Aji temple, they don't go to the Buddha's temple. Main shrine is Buddha. The side, the small temple is Aji. So main shrine is not that busy, but Aji temple is so busy. So that kind of practice. His Holiness Dalai Lama always said, sometime in the Tibetan culture, when we go to the Buddhist temple, people say, oh, okay, Buddhas just do prostration and this. But when come to the Dharma protector house, then people become so careful, and whatever they have offering, they bring more there, So Buddhists just give the, empty prostration, and all the offering bring to the Dharma protector house. That kind of things. So if we want to be truly practice, we have to recognize what is the Buddha, what is the Dharma, what is the Sangha. Dharma protector are protecting people who practice the Dharma, not the people. If a practitioner do bad things, true Dharma protector will give them punishment. And there are a story in the Vajrayana. It's called the Dagini's punishment. Dagini are in the Vajrayana Dharma protector. Dagini make the promise to the Buddha to protect the Dharma, all past master. So when we misuse the Vajrayana, Dagini give us the punishment. So they are protecting Dharma, they're not protecting us. If we not practice Dharma, they're not going to protect us. It's called the Dharma protector. What does it mean? That when Dharma practitioner come obstacle, they remove those obstacles. So that way their practice become more smooth. Like, for example, what is more smooth mean? You don't expect everything, all problem is gone. Not necessarily all problem is gone, but sometimes there's some kind of help comes. One Drupal master called the Loreba, he was meditating in the Namso. Normally, Namso in the winter, they freeze, so people can walk on the water. But when Loreba was meditating 9 years, never freeze. So nobody can come in, they cannot go out. And they completely finish all their food. There's nothing left. So then Loreba said to attendant, today go to the water side. Maybe we have some things. So, and the water pushed the one dead body. So, and Loreba said, oh, those are Dharma protector bring us to food. So, I mean, things like that. Not necessarily going to remove all our obstacles, but it's just make you, that can continually practice the Dharma. So if our Dharma practice is just focus is only Dharma protector practice, then we are not a Buddhism. We are just ghost worshiper, because we're only practicing the Dharma protector. We're not practicing the three jewels. So that reason we have to be, therefore, that unfilled 3 jewels, go for refuge from the bottom of your heart. Some do not fully trust the benefit of the Buddha's speech of the Holy Dharma. Instead of they put their faith in the definition and ritual. This kind of a wrong view is a cause of the rebirth of the hell. The obscuration that result from mistaking action, such as from the misleading religious font during the degenerated time and so forth, may not appear immediately, but will ripen without a doubt and so fully trust. We don't fully, fully trust the benefit of the Buddha's speech. So Buddha's speech teaching is a Buddha gave the basic foundation of a teachings is a Buddha give the Four Noble Truth. In the Four Noble Truth, there's 2 subjects: negative cause and result, and a positive cause and result. All the happiness and joy is a come from the good deed. All the suffering and misery is a come from the bad deed. So when our life have something is good, it means that we did something good. When our life has things not happening, then we did something bad in the past. That way, bad things happening, but we don't trust on that. Then we just try to rely on that definition and ritual. So definition and ritual, they temporarily help some point, but it cannot clear your karma. Sometimes those kind of definition and ritual maybe postpone your karma. So temporarily you don't have to face those, but sooner or later you will have to face those challenge. It not purified, it not remove your obstacles by just doing definition and some rituals. If that is possible, then Buddha does not need to teach those all difficulty practice. Just give us easy rituals. So kind of wrong view is a cause of the rebirth of the hell. So here is a kind of wrong view is mean you don't believe your own karma. You always believe creator. When things happen bad, you blame to the someone. Some spirit did to me, or someone did to me, or always blame to someone. When things happen good, maybe you said, oh, I'm wonderful, or some better one said, oh, thanks to my guru, all these good things happen because my guru prayed for me. Your guru prayer alone cannot make you successful, or your enemy alone cannot make you failure. Your failure and your successful is according to your karma. When you have a bad karma, no matter how many prayer your guru do or anyone do for you, you never become successful. If you have a good karma, you accumulate good karma, no matter how many bad intention around you, they cannot make you a failure. You can experience this one. Sometimes people try to try to make you fail in different way, but couldn't make you fail because you have good karma. So no matter how much other try to harm you, couldn't harm you. But sometimes there are so many people try to help you, try to become successful. It never becomes successful because your karma is not supporting you. You don't have the source of that success. Source of success and failure is your own karma. No one can make that one. Others' prayer or ritual, whatever is the condition. So like if you want good harbor, the like uh, grain grow good way, you need plant the seed. Then that seed meet with the condition, then grow really well. But without the seed having good condition, like good soil, good water, good temperature, it not grow anything. So don't be wrong view. Wrong view is not only just don't believe the karma. Sometimes wrong way to believe in the karma is also become a wrong view. In the Lord Jidusung said, "Jebi jebi lokta." Jebi jebi lokta means wrong view of believing someone else did to you, good or bad. So then that is become a wrong view. Wrong view is a really heavy negative karma. So that heavy negative karma can be rebirthed in hell. Obscuration that result from mistaken action, such as from the mishandling the religious fund during the degenerated time and so forth, may not be apparent immediately. So this is mean that now it's called the mistaken action. What is the mistaken action? Is it like a misleading religious fund? This is in the Tibetan, it's called the kor. Kor means like when somebody offer to the temple, if you use the personal, it's become bad karma, heavy negative karma. In the Holiness Yawan Drukpa's book called My Crazy Tale, he used as a black money, black wealth. So people may misunderstand that means that something have to do illegal. It's not necessarily illegal, but when you're using wrong way, it's becoming black or negative. In the Nalanda, there's one in India, one hungry ghost comes. You know, whenever he try to eat anything, some fire come out, and his feet is kind of opposite direction. So what happened was that hungry ghost was an abbot of the Nalanda or one monastery in India. He used sanghas, what called that, la food, rice for personal benefit. That way he was born in the hungry ghost. Only that action. And one time he went to in the temple without removing his shoes. That way he born at feet as a kind of really cracking one, croc one. So that is what is misleading. Even actually, if you do the clearly, even this shrine room money cannot use for other shrine because the people offering for this Buddha. So you have to use. So point is when people offering to the someone somewhere, and if you use for the personal for that one, become a really heavy negative. Why? Because it's not belong to you. One is the tools is belong to the what called the heavier. Like if you stole from the government, it's a heavy then heavier what called punishment than crime than you stole from the private one, because private one is you stealing from the one person. If you're stealing from the government, you stole from the whole country. So if something is belong to the sangha, if you took that one, even you took $1, if there's like 100 sangha, you took $100 because you stole from every one sanghas $1 from that $1. So that way, this heavy, that religion fund is a really heavy negative karma. So I think I forgot now. I mentioned this in the precious garland of a Gamboba's jewel, precious garland is I think I forgot now. He said, "Bad monk destroy the families," which just mean the monk bring to their religion offering to the monk home and make everyone really heavy negative karma. So when monk giving to the family, temporarily helping, but ultimately harming them. Why? Because they make a really heavy negative karma. So that is what is mean the mishandling the religious fund during the degeneration time and so forth may not appear immediately. So that result immediately not going to give you, because immediately it make you rich. If you bring all your offering to the family, a family become really rich. Maybe family truck, family buy the car, family buy build house, and lots of things you can do to the family. So it's not going to harm immediately. The result will not come immediately, but will ripen without a doubt. But the result will come. Heavy negative result will come later. So, so that I have a fully trust. So you should trust on this. I think so. This in Tibetan is called we call the kor. When you eating from the special lamas, I think that's truly because when I was in the before I was young monk, because I eat food which provide my family. Whenever I try to meditate or anything, it really not that difficult. But once I came to the Dehradun and I eat for the food from the holiness, I live in the holiness place, It's just I mean, one way it's a monastery, but another way it's a kind of core. So I can see my mind is become more clouded when meditate, really kind of more clouded. So that is, I think, because of the last 10 years I ate and live place as all the holiness material. So things like that, I think those are all involved in the which is monasteries, misleading religion fund. Misleading mean just using, even just using them it alone, like eating food, drinking water, and so those alone as a habit, you have to take responsible. Root of the attainment of the Vajra master, developing the faith in all his activity, holding his instruction as a violent, as a respectfully, serving as a attending him without the hypocrisy is the root of the Dharma. But those who think that the Samaya is like the egg deceive themselves. So this is my hard advice. Root of the attainment is a Vajra master, which is we talked last Sunday. Last Sunday, especially Vajra master means somebody who give the empowerment, especially fourth empowerment. It's called the word empowerment. Through the instruction of the word empowerment, you will accomplish the supreme siddhi, which is called the Mahamudra. So root of that attainment, especially that attainment, is come from the Vajra master. So you have to develop the faith in his activity, and so you have to trust him. So that way you have to, holding his instruction as a vial. So how you can trust is it? So before you take as a Vaja master in this person as your choice. You have to examine it. You have to make sure, don't rush on that. Once you took, as I said in the Vajrayana, it's like a snake on the bamboo. You go to up or down. There are no middle way to exit. So once you took that one, then developing the faith. I mean, his activity, no matter what activity, good or bad. Holding his instruction as a valid, whatever instruction. So that way need the Vaja master also qualified one, not everyone. And respectfully serving as attending him without the hypocrisy. So, attending him without the root of Dharma. The root of the Dharma. So this trust is the root of the Dharma, actually. Without the trust, without the faith, nothing come out. But those who are think Samaya is like egg, deceive themselves. I think maybe Samaya is an egg. It's a egg. So one side is really big, but then become a smaller, and kind of disappeared. First take really serious, but then slowly. So I think so, something like that. Maybe slowly it's become smaller, and careless. Or egg have to be really take care. If you're not take care, easy to break. I think maybe something like that. I'm not sure that this example is egg is maybe egg is like a potato like egg. In Tibetan we said it's just like it's just like egg can be break easily. It means the egg is the one of the object that can break easily. So when you have to take care like egg without the breaking. The Samaya. This is my hard advice. Some people can't even keep the discipline of the Sharvaga's morality, yet they think that the vow of the secret mantra as the discipline of the Maha Arya are easier to keep. Even though the activity of union, liberating, and so forth are started in the Tantra, those are the deed only by those who on pure booming. This is really important now. Because some people, they couldn't keep the just simple 5%. 5% are really easy. Basically, if we put effort, anyone can keep those 5%. No need to be too intelligent, no need to be too, educated, no need to be too high realize someone. Just long as we just be mindfulness and consist, anyone can keep this 5%. But secret mantra is really difficult. How difficult is it if you try to keep thought and emptiness together? How difficult it is, So that much difficult, secret mantra. So some people think that all the practice of the union and those are really easy. They are not easy because in the Vajrayana, those teachings are only taught to the being who reach to the 8 or above bhumi. It's called the pure bhumi here. Those are pure bhumi's activity. Activity have a lots of different labels called the ordinary activity, bodhisattva activity, no, okay. Oh no, ordinary activities, yogic activities, Mahasiddha activities, Buddha's activities. So this is talking about the Mahasiddha activities. Mahasiddha mean the someone who are above 8 bhumi, which is mean they have a realization of the non-duality. So this kind of practice of the union and things like that is only can do by being who have that kind of achievement, who reach to the pure bhumi. In the name of the secret mantra, some take women, drink, wear strange clothes, act like a madman, and so forth. One who deceives himself in this way is the worst kind of a Dharma practitioner. He will become stuck in the mud of samsara and then fall in the depth of hell. How you stuck in the mud of samsara, then have a family. Once have a family, then have a conflict of all the problems come. Then no longer free man, no longer freedom, no longer a free condition of a practice in dharma. So that all the complicated come. Once those complicated come and increase in all the negative emotion, they're reborn in the hell realm. One cannot be accomplished in Buddhahood by separating the 3 vows. It's been the individual liberation vow and Bodhisattva vow and secret vow, Vajrayana vow. So some people say, oh, Vinaya, you cannot do this one, but in the Tantra, you can do this one. It's not true. If you behave with the pure contact of the Vinaya, bind all you do the altruistic motivation of the bodhicitta and practice as a raising and the completion stage of the secret mantra, it will not be difficult to gain the fruit of 3 kaya. So outwardly appearance as a Vinaya, discipline like Vinaya, innerly practice as a bodhicitta, and secretly it means that then practice of the Vajrayana generation and completion stage. Then achieving 3 kaya is not difficult. Thus, I have briefly present of this general advice. Now, for those who wish to be practice of the holy Dharma from the depth of their heart, I will explain these things by means of an analogy. So the rest, actually, the 100 advices start from here. This is a preliminary. So this is basically, if you truly want to learn the Dharma, truly want to practice the Dharma, then the next one is a step by step kind of following to the path of the, so giving you through the what called advice with the analogy or the example. Okay, so I hope we can start this after the spring retreat sometime. So today we're going to stop here. If impermanent comes, then maybe you can receive from someone. And also read the Khenpo Rinpoche's commentary on this book. It's really good. Okay, thank you. Janju Sem Jo Rinpoche Manje Bana Je Joji Je Bai Nyam Bai Mem Bai Gone Gondo Pe Wo Sho Tata Konde Tam Je Je Tu Sundo Sabada Yube Jeve Zawad
Tata Senje Danje Nyundo Lana Memba Yandaba Zobe Janjo Rambo Jetoba Joje Shija Kunse Kunjin Cheje Dende Nela Wandon Jigomba Renje Beje Demba Sede Shedu Tosan Gombe Zenju Oji.
Okay, everyone, thank you. Good night. Good day. Oh,
Well, thank you so much. Thank you very
yeah.
much for teaching.
Hope see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.